The Super Bowl halftime show is one of the most watched television events of the year, with an average of 100 million viewers tuning in. Despite the massive audience, however, Super Bowl halftime performers don't get paid for their performance. This has led to some controversy and confusion, with many people wondering why the NFL doesn't compensate the artists who perform at the halftime show. In today's video, we will explore the reasons why Super Bowl halftime performers don't get paid and examine the benefits and drawbacks of this arrangement. So, let's get started. Evolution of the halftime show. The Super Bowl halftime show has not always been the massive cultural event that it is today. In the early years of the Super Bowl, the halftime show was typically a low-budget affair that featured local marching bands and drill teams. It wasn't until the 1990s that the halftime show began to feature high-profile musical artists, and it wasn't until the early 2000s that the halftime show became the massive cultural event that it is today. As the halftime show has evolved, so too has the understanding of its value for performers, audiences, and the NFL. Today, the halftime show is a massive production that provides artists with a unique opportunity for exposure and cultural impact. While performers don't receive direct payment for their performance, they do benefit from the exposure and prestige that comes with performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. Exposure? Super Bowl halftime performers don't get paid for their performance, but they do receive exposure to a massive audience that can help boost their career and increase their earning potential. The halftime show is one of the most watched television events of the year, with an average of 100 million viewers tuning in. This exposure can translate into record sales, increased concert attendance, and more lucrative endorsement deals for the artists. In some cases, the exposure from a Super Bowl halftime performance can be more valuable than any payment the artist might receive. Limited budget. The Super Bowl halftime show is a massive production that requires a significant investment from the NFL. The cost of producing a halftime show is incredibly high, with estimates ranging from $10 million to $20 million. If the NFL were to pay the performers directly, it would significantly increase the cost of producing the event, and it would likely be reflected in higher ticket prices for fans. The production costs for the halftime show can be astronomical, with the NFL spending millions of dollars on things like staging, lighting, and special effects. Paying a high-profile artist a performance fee on top of these expenses would make the halftime show prohibitively expensive. The NFL has a limited budget for the halftime show, and paying performers would eat into that budget. As a result, the NFL has chosen to provide performers with exposure to a massive audience rather than direct payment for their performance. Privilege and honor. Being selected to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show is a significant achievement and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for many artists. Many Super Bowl halftime performers view their performance as a privilege and an honor. For them, the exposure and prestige that comes with performing at the Super Bowl are more valuable than any payment they might receive. The Super Bowl halftime show is a unique opportunity for artists to showcase their talent to a massive audience and create a memorable cultural moment. Cultural event. The Super Bowl halftime show has become a cultural event that is talked about for weeks after the game. This means that the artist's performance is likely to be viewed and shared on social media platforms, which can help to further increase their visibility and exposure. The halftime show has become a cultural touchstone, with people anticipating the performance and discussing it in the days and weeks following the Super Bowl. The halftime show is a unique opportunity for artists to create a memorable cultural moment and reach a massive audience. In conclusion, the decision not to pay Super Bowl halftime performers is rooted in a number of factors, including the value of exposure and cultural impact, limited budget, and the honor and privilege of being selected to perform at the halftime show. While some may argue that artists should be compensated for their performance, the current arrangement provides benefits for both the performers and the NFL. Ultimately, the Super Bowl halftime show remains a unique and culturally significant event, and the decision not to pay performers is unlikely to change anytime soon. So, this is it, guys. What do you think of these factors? Let us know in the comments below. To keep watching this kind of video in the future, subscribe to our channel to get updates whenever a new video is posted. Thanks for watching.